Hello, hello. Are we live? Are we live? I think we are. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. How you liking those tariffs? Are you liking the tariffs? Are you enjoying the tariffs? The more and more I learn about the tariffs, the more and more I appreciate what President Trump is doing. One person I'm a little perturbed with is Rand Paul. What is Rand Paul doing? You know, Rand Paul, he's like not doing the right thing, my personal opinion. You know, he's siding with these Democrats and going against President Trump. And he's trying to come out here trying to tell everyone that, you know, Trump doing these tariffs, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. He won't even give it the opportunity. I'm going to trust President Trump's judgment on this more than Rand Paul. Now, I like Rand Paul when it comes to certain things, but man, he's wrong on this one. He's starting to sound like he's part of the problem in the Senate. I'm just saying, we shall see. But I want to talk about this liberal world order. You know what? Years and years ago, when I first found out about a new world order, and I would put posts on, on YouTube and different places, they would come back and say, oh, the world order is a conspiracy theory. There's no such thing. It's not actually happening, because they knew that people would be against it. But now people are embracing it. I mean, they actually have this liberal, and they call it the liberal world order. And it's really fitting, a liberal world order. But this liberal world order that they've been really trying to push onto the American people is collapsing. It's crashing. And it's actually good to see, because none of us, even people on the left, they really don't want it. But, people on the left, they kind of like go along with it because they hate Trump more. They hate God even more than Trump. But that's the reason why they go along with it. And to see how now you even have some liberals even coming out saying that the liberal world order system is not working. And what's really amazing to me is that the people in the Democrat Party, they're still trying to push this liberal world order, even after what happened this past election, even after what happened. See, they still haven't figured out the fact that the American people are not going along with it. And you know what? It is happening around the world, actually. More people are saying no more of this wokeism, no more of this liberalism. We've got to get away from that, because it's not healthy, right? It's not healthy to the American people. It's not healthy at all to anybody, to any place on the world, on this planet. It's not healthy at all. I've noticed that a lot of liberals, they have this thing or this feeling about stuff, right? They have feelings about stuff, and they want everyone to believe that their feelings about different things is what's important. Not the reality of everything, but the way they feel about things, right? So thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please bless me by hitting the thumbs up. Share this video. Share the video. Help me get people in here. Help me get people in here. When you take the video, no matter how you're watching this, and you share it other places, people will tune in. And I greatly appreciate you for doing so. Please share this video. Okay, I do have a couple of things I want to share with you based on this. And it's all about, the left. They are quick to want to censor and silence people like Will Johnson. I've been doing this for some years now. I remember I picked up my first selfie stick, and I picked it up at a department store. I'm not going to say the name of the department store, but I remember I picked up this selfie stick at at one of these particular department stores. And I started just, doing some videos and started talking about different things that I'm seeing, different things that I'm experiencing. And I was just sharing my personal view and opinion on different things. And as time went on, I started getting more and more people listening in and tuning in to see what Will Johnson had to say about something, and just sharing it. And a lot of people were tuning in because we have never met face to face. And I was saying a lot of things that a lot of people were hearing. And people were tuning in and said, man, Will is like, he's on point. He's saying exactly the same thing that I'm saying. It was almost like I was confirming what you were seeing in the insanity that we were going through, that we're still going through even. And I just started doing video after video, and one thing led to another. And that's the reason why I'm here today, doing what I'm doing. I did IT for 20 plus years, and I think God had me go transition to do what I'm doing. And, you know, everything has a season. Everything has a season. So one thing leads to another. And my ultimate goal is that I do whatever it is that I do in this world, in my lifetime. I want it to be something that I'm doing that will please our Father in heaven. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I've actually gone, I would read the Bible in the past. I would read the Bible, but I wasn't like constantly just every single minute of the day. I'm still not, every single minute of the day. But there was times I would go and I wouldn't read it. But I would just go and get little things here and there. But here lately, I've just been really doing a deep dive. And man, some of the stuff that I've been seeing here lately, reading in the Bible, like let me just give one example. Shannon, I didn't share this with you. So I've been reading Ezekiel, and I came across this scripture in Ezekiel where it was talking about them parading their sin. And I'm like, dude, I'm like, because nothing is new under the sun. And Ezekiel was talking about these people going around parading their sin. And it didn't go into detail about what their sin was. Right? Don't have to. Well, it kind of did. But I'm not going to. Which brings it to today, sitting there reading in the Bible, and I'm seeing all this stuff happening in the Bible. I truly believe that we're living in the last days. I believe that people's minds are getting turned over to a reprobate mind more than ever in the history of this planet, more than any other time. When you have people that are questioning about a man becoming a woman, I mean, well, maybe it is true. Knowing good and well deep down that it's not, people are even questioning it now that, hey, maybe. And you have some people that will come and scream at you and yell at you, saying that it is 100% factual. It can happen. Right? It can happen. This is what they're saying. It doesn't happen. It's never happened, but they'll come and tell you that it can happen. Again, goes right back to what I was saying a second ago. Their feelings about it all. And because I won't think the way that they're thinking, and it is the radical left, because I don't think the way they want me to think, or because I'm not thinking the way that they are thinking, they're saying all of these hateful things about me. And if they want to think a certain way, I mean, by all means, go ahead, do your thing. But why are you going to try to take my rights away from thinking the way that I want to think? And it's the same thing goes along with a lot of people. A lot of people have been experiencing this because we've lost friends. I have family members right now that refuse to have any kind of communication with me because I don't want to go along with the stuff that they're just feeling, right? Like they feel a certain way. And I'm like, well, you can feel that way, but I'm not going to, play along because I don't want to play. Like you playing this particular game, I'm going to go play a different game. I don't want to play that game. And then they get upset with me. And to the point to where you have the radical left, because you don't think a certain way, they want to silence you. The censorship in this country that we've experienced for the past 8 years in the United States of America was like the 1930s Germany, 1940s Germany. And the same people that are saying that they're against fascism, they're the main ones wanting to shut down free speech. Put it like this. If Elon Musk never purchased Twitter and allowed conservatives to have a voice, we would have a completely different outcome in this country. And yes, I'm talking about one specific app. And just imagine, can you imagine if YouTube and Facebook allowed free speech the way it is on X? Can you imagine that? Just imagine how many more people would actually wake up to the truth. You ever think about that? See, I think about stuff like that. Because more people would have woken up to exactly what's happening. And a lot of people did wake up to it simply because of a single app, X. And now today you have a lot of people. When I went out to the Tesla event last Saturday, I was talking to this female, and she was wanting to get my social media handle so she can follow me and connect with me, right? And I told her what my social media handle was on X. I said, I'm Mr. Will Johnson on X. Can you put that in the lower third, Shannon? So on X, I'm Mr. Will Johnson on X, right? That's how I say it. I'm Mr. Will Johnson on X. Right? It's a little clever, right? I think you get it. I'm Mr. Will Johnson on X. My producer, she's going to put it down here in the lower third. I told her that I was on X, and she was like, oh, like I can't do X. So I'm willing to bet that she's on Blue Skies, or she's probably on Instagram, or she's probably on, Threads, or she's probably on YouTube, or she's probably on, these other platforms where liberals are still censoring conservatives, where the battle against conservatives and Christians are at an all-time high about free speech, preventing us from having a voice. It really is. It really is. It's at an all-time high. Okay. I was like, wonder what happened to the lower third. She's working on it. So I had to do my little rant here, and I plan on going, okay, you got it? Okay, here, hold on. Let me see if I can fix it over here. I'm not seeing it at all. Okay. So she broke it. Actually, so
Mr. Will Johnson broke it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess so. So let me share this with you, because I plan on going back out to the Tesla event this weekend. I'm hoping it doesn't rain us out, but I plan on going. So if there's some liberals watching, just know that here in Austin, Texas, I will more than likely be out there. But just to let you know, my Megaphone, right? This is my Megaphone. It stopped working. I've had this Megaphone for 10 years. This one here. Look at that. I got my United America First logo on here. I got it on the inside there too. I purposely did that. Looks beautiful, right? It looks like it's like in mint condition. I replaced the batteries in it. Nothing works. So I'm asking people if you can, if God puts it on your heart, can you go to, we have a Give, Send, Go. Put it up here. My producer just put it up there. The little thirds are working right there. Give, Send, Go. Look at that. Oh, that's awesome. Megaphone. Because it is a megaphone, not a megaphone. The left, they carry megaphone. But we as conservative Christians, we carry megaphones. So if you find it in your heart, help me replace my Megaphone. There's a different one that I want to get that will allow me to just do extra things while I'm out there. So if you find it on your heart, you want to help me replace my Megaphone that I've had for 10 years. And actually, this one, supporters helped me get this one, Shannon, 10 years ago.
Yep, I remember. 10
years ago, supporters, because, I was new to it. And they were like, Will, you should go get a Megaphone. I said, yeah, well, okay. And people said, oh, yeah, we're going to help you get one. We're going to help you get one. This was 10 years ago when I first started doing all this. And it did its purpose. But now I got to retire this one. And I'm asking everyone, if you go to what you see there, thegivesendgo.com. And the one on one is a little bit. That's why I'm asking people to help me out, because I want to get one that is durable and that will last another 10 years. So if you find it in your heart, please go to that. And also, Shannon, can you go ahead and put my Let's see if hopefully it doesn't break again. I'm Mr. Will Johnson. Do you have to type it in or do you have it? Yep, right there. That's me on X. So I was telling her, I'm Mr. Will Johnson on X. And she was like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I should have asked. I said, well, what about on Blue Skies? Maybe we can connect on Blue Skies. I don't have a Blue Skies account because it's an echo chamber. See, X is not an echo chamber because as much as the liberals, these progressives hate X and Elon Musk right now, they're still on there. And why are they still on there? Because they have freedom of speech. They can go on there and say bad things. They can say terrible things. They can say all the crazy things that they want to about all the terrible things they want to say about Elon Musk, about President Trump, and it is allowed. It is allowed. Now, I will have to say, if you go say something on Facebook and it's, just not everyone, not all the time, but if you say crazy stuff on Facebook about Elon Musk, I've noticed this, and about President Trump, they kind of let it slide. But if you say something about, I remember, put it this way, when I used to do commentary about Karine Jean-Pierre, and I would show something of Karine Jean-Pierre without fail, and this is our taxpayer dollars footage, right? Because it's coming directly from the White House. I would share it, get my point of view about her. They would do just terrible things to the video. They'd do terrible things to my account. It was just, they did it every single time. But as long as I didn't show her KGB, as long as I didn't show her, it was perfectly fine. They protect people on the left, but you can say any despicable thing you want about those on the right. I want to share a video with you. Listen to this because, Abby, she's the one of the hosts of this particular show. And rumors has it that she doesn't like Scott Jennings. Like you need a rumor to figure that out. But they're on here and they're talking about, is this the one, Shannon, where they're talking about how this guy was in the country and they're saying, well, it was his free speech. It's free speech. President Trump doesn't like certain free speech. That's not even true. So they're saying that President Trump is trying to suppress free speech, and he's not. If you're not from the United States of America and you come to America and you start saying stuff like you want to eradicate the United States of America and you're not even an American citizen, you shouldn't be saying it if you're an American citizen. That doesn't make sense, right? But, you got liberals, they'll say that. And we're kind of accustomed to it. But I want y'all to listen to this because they're defending people coming from other countries to America to say terrible things.
You mentioned free speech, which we already know that people are being deported on the basis of not being able to have certain types of speech that this administration doesn't like. I mean, those are things that are happening right now in this country. You're talking about Europe, but that's happening here.
Yeah, well, I would remind you that over the course of the last several years, the left in this country has undertaken a massive effort to suppress the speech of conservatives. And to this day, the message from the left is, I think if you don't say what we like, we will engage in violent acts against you.
I'll let you in, Dan, in a second. But
you see how she's cutting him off too? Every single time he comes up, he's making valid points. She wants to cut him off. I can only imagine she probably goes back in her dressing room and she probably throws stuff at her wall. So I can't stand him because he's telling the truth. I've never, ever, a single time since I've been doing this, because I've been mindful about it, right? Not that I've done it before I started doing this, but I never said that anyone should be harmed for anything. Now, you can think whatever it is that you want to think. But when you're talking about harming someone, that is an absolutely no. Scott Jennings is right, because Will Johnson is not agreeing with the radical left. They will give it a pass for them to say despicable things about me. I've had people send me death threats and I would report them. And you know what they would come back and say? It doesn't go against their community standards because I'm a conservative supporting President Trump that is a Christian, among other things. But that's the main one. So it didn't go against their community standards. And see, she doesn't want to hear that. And it's 100% true. How many times have y'all seen Christians and conservatives go hit the streets and act completely crazy? And let me share this. I didn't think I was going to actually show this, but I want to share this with you. Here's a video where it's showing this young man right here, this young man at the top there. He's no longer with us because of the young man down at the bottom. The man that is on the right side over here, closer to me, that's the twin brother of the brother at the top. With the brother is gone now because they got in the two men that are on top of each other. Those two young men got in a dispute with one another. And the young man down below decided to take matters into his own hand and take him and remove him from our planet over a stupid argument. There's no rioting in the streets. The liberal media is not even talking about it. The liberal media is acting like it doesn't even exist. But if the roles were reversed, oh my goodness, there'll be protests. You have, what is his name? Crumbs. You'll have Jesse Jackson. You'll have Al Sharpton, the ACLU, MSDNC, CNN, ACLU, CBS, all of them out there reporting, saying that this is happening because of Trump and these MAGA extremists. This is the reason why this is happening. But because the roles are reversed and it's not what the Democrats want, you hear nothing from them. It's like crickets. This is a horrible story. Should have never even happened. A horrible story. But the only reason why I'm talking about it because it's double standards. It's double standards when it comes to the left. Just like everything else. Like, here's another example of double standards. If you have someone who committed a crime and it happens to be a man, and then this man is getting ready to go to prison for the horrible crime that he committed. It's an actual man. But now this man is wanting to pretend to be something else, the opposite of a man. And you have the radical left that are saying, well, he should be able to go to the facility that he identifies with. This is our society. I mean, you can't make this up. I mean, the very fact that they're saying that he should be able to go to the facility after he's committed a horrific crime that he identifies with. I mean, really, someone help me out here. And just like I said, when I first started off, I said, people are being turned over to a reprobate mind. The stuff that we're seeing in our world today is like mind blowing. And it's like it's almost become the norm. And that's been the whole objective here, to get all of this crazy stuff that we're seeing to become the norm. So no one will question it. So here in this case, you have a whole bunch of Democrats that got up. They were getting ready to vote, to my understanding, getting ready to vote about men cutting off their stuff so they can have their surgery done. Now, these are men that have committed horrible crimes. They're in prison for something. But you have Democrats advocating for them so they can do whatever it is they want to do so they can identify as something else. I don't understand, why would a criminal get support from anybody other than do your time? That's the way it should be. You committed this crime. You need to serve your time. And here, they're all out here and they walk out because they don't want the Republicans. They're trying to fight the Republicans because the Republicans are saying no. The Republicans are saying we're not going to vote yes to allow these men that are going into prison, cutting off their stuff, trying to identify as something else. So the Democrats in protest all got up and walked out. And now they're championing themselves like, this is great. Look what we've done. We're fighting against the Republicans. Have y'all, this is like, make it make sense. And you know, some people clapping, thank you, thank you, thank you. See, this is what the Democrat Party has been running on. And they still haven't figured out this is the reason why they lost. And they figured because people are still voting for them in certain locations that they're emboldened to go ahead and push this radical stuff even more. And because they're pushing this radical stuff even more, people that their constituents are not complaining to them. And you know what? Most of their constituents don't even have a clue that they're even pushing this crap. They think people, see, this is what you call low information voter. These people voting for these Democrats, thinking that the Democrats are going to go up on Capitol Hill to fight for the small business, for minorities, for women, for the oppressed. And they're not doing that at all. See, now the Democrats, they'll tell people, and they've done this for years. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. They go and tell people every 2 to 4 years, and it's not even just black people. They tell people every 2 to 4 years that, hey, we're going to do this for you. We're fighting for you. We're going to do all these things. And they go up on their pedestals and they're fighting for stuff that you shouldn't be fighting for. A grown man wanting to change his identity because he's going through some issues. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Which brings me to this liberal world order. Have y'all heard about that? Now, again, when I first heard it and I was talking about liberal world order, all of these social media companies were saying that it's not even true. It's a conspiracy. It's disinformation. It's false information. They were all saying it. Now they're not saying it. Right. And I think every now and then YouTube will tag somebody's stuff about, you know, somebody's still a conspiracy when the left is embracing this liberal world order. Joe Biden went overseas, and Joe Biden, this is when he was in the White House, said that we have the opportunity to have a liberal world order, and we need to be the ones to lead that liberal world order. And I'm like, oh, look here, Joe Biden, their leader. The Democrat leader, the liberal leader, he's the one saying it. So I'm like, oh, let me do commentary on this and share this out there. And then sure enough, they go, oh, well, wait a minute. It's not true. It's not true. Joe Biden's saying it. And you even had the liberals on the mainstream, lamestream media, the dinosaur media, they're even saying it. They're even talking about it. Listen to this. Was it Jon Stewart, right? He has this guy on there, and he's right off there. He says, I think this sort of liberal world order system, he says, if we think this sort of liberal world order system, right? He's admitting to it. He's straight up talking about it. They have a liberal world order.
If we think this sort of liberal world order system, first of all, even if it was serving the U.S. well at one point, is not serving it as well anymore.
And this is a result of what happened this past November. See, they thought they were under this impression that they would be able to push this liberal world order agenda and everyone would just embrace it, because they actually live in this echo chamber. And I mentioned it earlier, and a lot of people never even heard of it. This is an app called Blue Sky, right? They created this app called Blue Sky after Elon Musk purchased Twitter and made Twitter where people can have free speech. So they created another app called Blue Sky to where you can only go on there and agree and talk about liberalism and all of the wokeism. That's completely fine. Their hatred for Elon Musk, they're probably organizing crime on the Blue Sky. They're probably doing all of that. And it's all allowed because it goes against President Trump and America. It's 100% allowed. They created it because of free speech, this liberal world order. That's what it's about. Crush those that don't agree with them, silence those, and hurt those, harm those physically, mentally, financially, because they don't agree with them. That's their MO. And that's what they've been doing all this time. The Democrats don't even have a leader. Who's the leader of the Democrat Party right now?
They don't know.
I mean, they don't know.
I mean, that's one reason why the liberal, what he would say, world order isn't working.
The liberal world order system is not working. Even if they
don't have any strong leaders. They don't have any likable leaders. That's part of their problem. The behind the scenes, it's going strong. You know, the money flow for the most part has been going strong. Of course, we'll see what USAID being shut down and stuff, how it affects them.
Yeah.
But honestly, what likable leader do they have?
Well, you know who they're trying to push to be their leader right now?
Who's that?
One guess.
I have no idea, honestly.
Cory Booker.
I mean, he is not.
There's seriously.
No way.
I'm with you on that.
I'm
with you on that, but that stunt that he just pulled, there was no filibuster involved.
Yeah.
There was no bill. There was nothing. Cory Booker went onto the Senate floor for 25 hours, just running his mouth, saying all of the radical things that the Democrats were all about the past 18 years. They're just intensified the past 8. Right? Because it all started under Obama. It really started triggering, started coming to the surface even more so. People started recognizing it on Obama. But now they're so far gone, they're actually saying that Cory Booker is a champion because he was able to do it for 25 hours. He set a new record in the Senate floor.
He did a marathon.
He did a marathon.
Come on now. I think what it is, I think there's just individuals that are desperate to become a leader. And so they're doing stunts. That was a stunt.
It's 100% a stunt.
If you listen to most of it, he's rambling about just the same old nonsense.
The same thing that they lost about right?
Right. The same stuff they lost.
Same thing they lost on. Yep. He's still up there saying the same thing. Well, I want you to listen to this. You haven't heard this, have you, Shannon? Because
no, I have not, actually. I'm interested.
Listen to this, everybody, because this
I'm sure it's triggering.
It is a little triggering for people with sound mind. But they're on here saying that Cory Booker is going to replace Chuck Schumer.
Oh, stop.
No, come on.
Stop.
No.
You're joking.
Nope.
Blunt's pollster and political analyst with us. Frank, a pleasure as always. I'm trying to find the right visualization here because that ballots ran out in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, deep blue Milwaukee is very telling. Tara Palmieri, very right. Democrats are energized. But are they energized in running in a circle and fighting with each other? Or are they energized in a direction?
They're going crazy right now. And they're going crazy because they don't see leadership in their own party. And I want to emphasize what Cory Booker did over the last 24 hours may have changed the course of political history. I watched a lot of it. I listened to words. I listened to phrases, how he presents himself. Did he criticize Donald Trump? Of course he did. But he struck the kind of tone that grassroots Democrats are looking for. He gave them a reason to fight. He gave them a reason to stand up and say, this is my country too.
You hearing this?
He did not.
Are you hearing this?
He did
25
not.
hours. He may have said something at 4:30 in the morning when this dude doesn't have a life and watching Cory Booker on the Senate floor. Maybe so. I don't know. But the thing is, Cory Booker, and his actual name is Cory Booker, but he kind of reminds me of a milk dud booger head, right? This dude is a disgusting person. And this is the kind of Democrat that they want. See, they hadn't figured it out yet. They still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I do believe that they're looking for somebody. I do believe that they're desperate.
They're desperate and they're grasping for straws.
I believe they want inspiration. If they find that was inspiration, by all means. But you know what? I was actually amazed at how little coverage it actually got. There was no coverage or anything until after he got done.
It wasn't.
Or towards the end, they're like, look what he did.
You're absolutely right. It wasn't huge coverage. And now they're all rallying behind him like he did something miraculous. Cory Booker is going to go down as the person who just sit there for 25 hours. What has he accomplished? This is his only accomplishment for doing. It's not even a filibuster. Not even filibuster. Hey, let me say thank you to Mary Beck for the Rumble rant. Thank you so much. Mary Beck says, I'm so happy to be able to send you a Rumble rant. God bless both of you. God bless you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Hey, for everyone watching on Rumble, please hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up for me. Same thing on YouTube and everywhere else. Please hit the thumbs up. And on Pilled, we got a Pilled too, correct?
Yeah, and actually I want to give a shout out as well, Will. I want to recognize Nikolai 50 on Give Send Go. He just actually gave you what you need and plus some more to get your megaphone. So much appreciated. We will get that on order.
Sure, let me put it on the screen.
Weekend. Yep, I have it on the screen.
Okay.
Nikolai 50 is what he said. Good luck. I'm assuming it's a gentleman. Good luck. Don't get hurt at Tesla rally. Praying that you change hearts and minds. And, yeah.
So you know that's going to help with the gas too.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, you are a blessing. You are a blessing.
Yeah, so many blessings today. Thank you.
You are a blessing. I'm so honored. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know what? God is good. God uses his people, right? God uses his people. I'm thanking every one of you for helping me out. Every one of you that hit the thumbs up. That is a blessing to me. It really is. So thank you. Thank you for your support. It really is. It makes a world of difference. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You know, and be clear, I give God all the glory because of people like you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? I give God all the glory because of people like you.
Yeah, because, you know, I'll be honest with you. When Will told me to do it, I was like, really? You want me to do it? But honestly,
you know, I mean, it
is something we needed. We were not going to be able to get it.
I'm not an NGO. I don't have, you know, the old USAID money coming in. I'm not an NGO. I only have God's people on my side. And imagine how powerful that is. That's, you know what? God's people are so much more powerful than any NGO, any government agency doing all this stuff. But let me go back to this. Because I want y'all to hear this. This is about Cory Booker replacing Chuck Schumer.
Of course, every Republican watching will say this is nonsense. But he's not speaking just to Republicans. He's speaking to Americans.
No, he's not.
And what I saw over the last 25 hours absolutely blew me away. And just as you sometimes make projections or predictions, I'm going to do one right here. That speech puts Cory Booker as one of the leaders for the Democratic Party. 2028, and I'll go even further. If you ask Democratic senators right now who they'd rather have lead them over the next 3 years, they would choose Cory Booker over Chuck Schumer.
Yeah, you know why?
Really?
You know why? Because Chuck Schumer gave into the...
They're upset with Chuck Schumer right now because of the CR.
Yeah, this pettiness.
They're upset. Like, how dare you do it? You should have shut down that government. When they want to get reelected,
they'll go to Schumer because he's the one that has all the money.
I mean, you can't make it up.
What has Cory Booker really done for the party? Let's be honest. He's literally been under the radar. He's not a star.
He's done anything. He's an activist. He did a
25-hour. That's what you have to do in order to get to the top of a Democratic Party.
To be an activist.
To get up there and do 25.
That's why they like these activist judges. Think about it. That's why they like these activist judges. Let me just play just a little bit more of this because they actually put out a poll about Chuck Schumer and Cory Booker.
That's how significant today was.
I say this with respect, and this is your Twitter poll, your X poll, Booker topping Schumer for Democratic Senate leader. Wouldn't my dog beat Chuck Schumer in terms of who Democrats would like to lead them in the Senate?
I mean, oh my goodness. Okay. He said, wouldn't my dog beat Chuck Schumer? So, you know, I mean putting Cory Booker here.
Does that prove our point, honestly? Because we're like,
I mean, dude.
If people are mad at him, okay. So, yeah.
My dog would beat Chuck Schumer. So this poll that you have out here, let me take it back to the poll. This poll means nothing. I mean, my dog would beat Chuck Schumer. Oh my goodness. Okay. I just wanted to play that because, man, you know, and then he goes on, you know, what kind of dog do you have? I'm like, you know, it's not important. The important thing is that the Democrats are so angry right now with Chuck Schumer Even Nancy Pelosi's not happy with Chuck Schumer. Hakeem Jeffries is not happy with Chuck Schumer. They're not. And then you got Cory Booker coming out there doing this whole political activist stunt and not accomplishing anything. What him standing out there for 25 hours, who benefited from that?
Apparently Booker. Because all of a sudden
he's like a leader. But I'm talking about, see, now if you're going to do something dramatic on Capitol Hill, see, me personally, if let's just say I was a politician and I'm up on Capitol Hill and I'm doing something, my thinking is that whatever it is that I'm doing, it needs to benefit the American people. He did it for self-gain. He wants some recognition. Like, look at me, I'm able to do it. And you know what, Shannon? I saw a video where they were talking about questioning Cory Booker afterwards. And they said, did you not have to use the restroom? And he was like, the Friday before, the day before, or so and so, I just stopped eating. I didn't drink anything. I didn't eat anything. He probably had on a diaper. I mean, because really, even when you're fasting, if you fast for 24 hours, 25 hours, some point in between then, your body's still going to release bodily fluids. I mean, it happens. Right? So who cares if he had on a diaper? I really don't care. He could have just said, you know what? When I didn't think he could have came on there and lied and said, and just said, I didn't know if I was going to do it, or just told the truth. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but I decided to go ahead and do it. And I just took precautions to make sure that if I had to, get to that point, that I would have something in place to do so. That's all you had to say. People would go, okay, he probably had on a diaper. No one cares. No one even, really the only people that care that he spent 25 hours on the Senate floor talking about a whole bunch of nothing, a whole gibberish, is him and the Democrats, the radical ones, because that's all he was saying was radical stuff. That's all it really came down to. Talking about saying radical stuff. If I told you that a group of people came into the country and did hateful things, harmful things to innocent people, and I want to get him out, and I took him out and put him out the country, what would be the response from you? Right? And you know what I'm talking about, right? We're talking about where President Trump picked up these people that are not even American citizens doing horrible things inside the United States of America, labeled them as a terrorist organization, trade de Agra, right? President Trump picked them up, got them out the country because they're labeled as a domestic terrorist group, which he has every right to do. The Democrats want these hardcore gang members back in the United States. They want them back. Listen to this. This is how they're thinking. There's a clear line between people that are embracing everything that is considered evil, everything that is considered just hateful. Just really, there's a clear line. And they have it in their mind that what they believe that they're doing is just. This is what you call someone who actually has a reprobate mind. People, you know what, Shannon, when I tell that to people before, they be like, I've heard you say that so many times. And they're like, I really didn't know what that meant. A reprobate mind. And there's still a lot of people that don't know when I say that. And I used to talk about people being a reprobate mind years and years ago. But man, it's so evident now. And Shannon, you've been really talking about how this great deception is happening. And this great deception is part of these people believing that they need to advocate for people that are hardened criminals. Listen to this.
About their status. And just to slightly push back on Mark, even if you tell me and you prove that they're gang members.
If you tell me and you prove that they're gang members, not from America, right? We're not talking about the Crips or the Bloods. You know what I'm talking about? Because they're in America. Right? We're not talking about Crips and Bloods. I actually have some cousins that consider themselves Bloods, which is pretty wild. But he says, even if you prove that they're gang members, right? Listen.
tell me and you prove that they're gang members, I'm not so sure that I'm okay with them being sent off to be tortured in a foreign country, but I'll leave that aside.
Oh, so it's okay for them to come here and torture Americans. It's okay for them to do it here, just not someplace else. Right? Not for them to go and be tortured. Right? But it's okay for them to come here, torture people like Lake and Raleigh, innocent children, boys and girls, women, men, drugs, fentanyl. It's okay for them to come here and do it here. I told y'all there's a clear line that has been drawn. Either people support what he just said, and you'll be surprised how many people out there, either you support what he just said, or you're like, there's something wrong with him. Why would we want anybody in our homes that is torturing us? And he's saying that he wants them here. And that goes to show why the Biden administration opened up the floodgates and had them all come into the United States of America. And they were perfectly fine with them coming here. They had no issues with them coming here. No qualms about it, actually. And actually, there's another one I want y'all to hear. And this is, if I can find it here. Okay, there's one where. No, wait a minute. Where is it at? I have a clip where they're actually going back. Did I not get it? Maybe I didn't get it. What is this one? Okay, here it is. Got it. This goes right along what I'm talking about. Because they imported these people here. Not a single time where they were saying, vet them, stop them from coming. But now they're upset with President Trump saying, don't deport them after we find out what they've been doing. And let me give you another example here too, just really quick before I play this. If you and I go to a bank and you're sitting in the car, I go inside the bank, I put on a mask and I rob the bank. Hypothetically speaking here, would never do it, okay, just to be clear. I go inside, I rob the bank. I run outside, jump in the car. You don't even know, because I take my mask off before I get in the car. You don't know, but I got this bag and we're riding down the street and I got a bag full of money. And the cops pull us over. They arrest me and they're going to arrest you. And you can scream to the rooftops, I had no idea. No idea. Guess what? You go to jail too. It's the same thing when it comes to these gang members. Just because a gang member doesn't have a criminal record and they're associated with these gang members and you get caught hanging out with these gang members, you got to go too.
Had TPS. Some of them had been through the parole program. You know, Nicole and I are on the same side when it comes to fighting the Castro regime, but yet we're seeing the Trump regime basically disappear people because they're not able to deport people.
I mean, really? You hear this? So now she's trying to equate President Trump's administration to Castro because you're deporting people. These are hardcore criminals. President Trump is not, you know what? If President Trump was just randomly rounding up people, deporting them, how come he's not doing these liberals, Shannon? How come he's not doing the liberals? If President Trump is just randomly saying go out and pick up people and deport them, why not do liberals?
Well, it's not random. I mean,
I know, no, but my point is,
right?
I know the people with common sense know it's not just randomly picking up people and deporting them. But if what they're saying is true, wouldn't President Trump just round up liberals and deport them? Wouldn't that be like the most sensible thing to do then?
And you know what I want to know? You know, right there it says, Trump mistakenly deports a father. How do they know it was mistaken? How do they know that?
If he's associated,
if they're not privy to any of the information, how are they reporting this?
Because are they suggesting that these gang members don't produce children?
Well, they are doing that. You have the one magazine, and I'm not sure what story or where they're getting this from, but there's the one story what was it in Maryland Magazine where they were saying, oh, this, TDA member was this great father and all this stuff. And, Caroline came out and said it was totally true. They have evidence that he is a hardened criminal. He's been with the gang for a very long time.
Yeah, it was what you talking about, the one that was 30 miles from D.C.?
Yeah, he's been investigated. But I'm just saying that these people report these stories, and it's like, how do they know?
Yeah,
are they just reporting this to make it seem like Trump's doing something he shouldn't be doing?
Yeah.
Because Homan and them seem to believe that they're...
Tren de Agua? Yeah, Tren de Agua.
TDA.
Yeah, Tren de Agua.
Because it's easier.
Tren de Agua. I mean, really. So listen to this.
It's actually offensive. Number one, let's not compare President Trump to Castro regime.
When you're deporting people without a process,
that's going to be very bad for you when you go back to Florida and you got to face your constituents.
Very confident that
Trump
my constituents don't want people
deported
without a lawful process.
Okay. First of all, was the guy here legally? Was he here legally?
He was.
He was here legally.
Yes.
Okay, so you had one individual. If
who
he
is
was
now
here
in
legally,
I don't know
what his status is. If it was a mistake, think about all the mistakes that the Biden administration made, that they'd allowed millions of people.
Now, listen to this right here. Listen to this key part. Because now they're going to say that she's gaslighting because she's talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden allowed all of these terrorists, all of these criminals to come into the country without being vetted. But now she's the one that's gaslighting. I mean, you can't make it up.
People to come into this country unvetted, and that ended up killing. We had rape. We had all sorts of crime, drug trafficking, Laken Riley. No.
But Congresswoman,
these are people that Joe Biden let in through his policies.
They were rounded up.
And you're going to criticize the mistake of somebody who is deported?
Respectfully, that is the definition of gaslighting. Because what we're saying is all five of us on this set tonight can look you in the eye and say that if you committed any of those crimes, then you should be deported immediately.
So what's the problem? Why is the other nut job saying that to bring them back in America? I mean, come on.
A lot of these people weren't even vetted.
No, they weren't even vetted.
And now that they're being investigated, they're like, oh, this person did this in Venezuela, and they're wanted for this, and they're wanted for that.
Shannon.
What?
Bill Clinton said had that hardcore gang member criminal been vetted before he came into the country,
Laken Riley. Yep.
Would be with us today.
100%.
Bill Clinton said that.
Yep. 100%.
So how was she gaslighting when their Billy Clinton even said that they should have been vetted?
And
they were not vetted. She's 100% correct. They're deflecting because of their hatred for Trump and this country.
Absolutely. And it's so irresponsible for a member of Congress to sit at that table and she's acting like she knows what happened with these gang members. She doesn't know. She's not. Trump put out an executive, presidential privilege, so he doesn't have to give him the information. And she's sitting there going, I know.
Yeah.
You do not know.
Exactly.
You should serve your sentence and go home immediately.
Yes, but they were let in. That's the bottom line. You're more concerned about the one guy that was deported than the millions of people that were let in illegally that went on to wreak havoc in cities like mine.
First of all, I would love an argument that I would love an argument that wasn't subject verb Joe Biden. That's first. Second.
I mean, he's the one who let him in. What do you want me to do?
Wow.
I want an argument where you're not actually talking about Joe Biden creating the situation. Right? Let's not talk about Joe creating the situation. Let's talk about Joe Biden. Let's talk about how President Trump is fixing it. Because that's the problem. Because President Trump is fixing it. Oh my goodness.
It's maddening. These people are absolutely maddening.
It's more than maddening.
Well, I'd like to give another shout out to somebody on Give, Send, Go. We had Deborah P.
Wow, Deborah.
Gave $50. She said, you are a warrior. Stay strong in the Lord. Oh, thank you so much. And Will sure does stay strong out there.
You know what? So the picture, Shannon, she took that picture. My producer, she took that picture. Weekend. This was last weekend.
Yeah.
And, I'm holding the same megaphone, right? It's the same one. But if y'all saw that video, you could tell my megaphone was like, I was
across the street,
like a dead duck.
I did that video across the street, and Will was yelling at his megaphone, and I'm like, I couldn't even hear what you were saying.
She couldn't even hear me, so
I could hear the other woman's megaphone.
Actually, the other one, she had a megaphone, right? We as conservatives,
that's right, yeah.
we have megaphones. Okay.
Correction.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Correction. Yeah.
We want to get it accurate.
Get it right. Megaphones. But she had a megaphone and it was right there in my ear. She was right there in my ear and it was just blowing my ear up. I mean, it really was. And for 2.5 days, I could not hear it. And I had this constant ringing going in my ear. Next time I go, I'm going to have earplugs. Right, because with the earplugs, I can still hear things, right? It just protect the high frequency noise from damaging my eardrum. I thought it was going to be permanently damaged eardrum. I thought I was going to have a permanently damaged eardrum. Hey, real quick before I forget, Filter Dog, I want to say thank you to Filter Dog for the pills on pill.net. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. All right. Again, if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up. Please bless me by hitting the thumbs up. I can see people hitting the thumbs up on YouTube as well as on Rumble. Please hit the thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. It really makes a difference, everybody. If you hit the thumbs up, if everybody that's watching right now that haven't hit the thumbs up, it will get 10 to 15 more people to tune in automatically because that's how it works. That's how it works. Hey, and I actually got someone on Rumble to hit the thumbs down. Look, if you don't like me, and it's okay. It's okay.
Will loves that, actually.
But you can show me up, hit the thumbs down twice. So I'm going to show Will Johnson, hit the thumbs down twice. So I'm going to show him. Also, hey, thank you again for going to the Gifts and Go. If you want to support me, please go to my website, uniteamericafirst.com. You can put that in the lower third. uniteamericafirst.com. Right there on the front page, you can see all the shows that I do Monday through Friday. And right down below that, we have articles on there. My producer, she's been really working hard, put articles out there as much as possible, just, the daily news stuff that's going on. And also, if you can go to uniteamericafirst.com/donate, you can become a monthly subscriber to support me if God puts it on your heart. But if you just want to bless me one time, said, okay, I give them like $5 or a couple bucks or whatever, you can go down a little bit and you can see, if you can scroll down for me, you can see the one time. Yep, right there. All the ones that you're used to, right? There's all the different ones that you can support me there. Or my physical address. And every single time, I just got one. I forgot to bring it up to my studio for everyone. When you send me a physical letter, I've kept every single letter. I've kept every single one of them. I've kept every single one. I have binder. I need to get another binder because I've received so many. I keep every single one of them because I cherish every single letter that everyone has sent through me. Since I've started this, I made that a rule. I kept every single one. When I lived in California, people have sent me letters in the mail. I did that as well.
Yeah, well, and I just wanted, before we go out, we talked to Mike Lindell the other day, and he wanted us to let everybody know that he is having a huge spring sale right now on sheets. It's a mega sale. He's saying that people are getting wholesale prices right now for, and then also there's a cross right there that you could give that's on sale for Easter towels. But the sheets right there are a huge sale right now. I think for size queen, it's like
these
$40.
Are the Giza sheets.
Yeah,
wow.
they're the really nice sheets. So,
wow.
I mean, it's a huge deal right now. Let me see if I could click on it, if we could see it. But yeah, it's a huge,
and it's right there, like you see, mypillow.com/Will. Use promo code Will.
Yep.
Use promo code Will to get the best deal. Right? You like that? That's how you can say when you go there and you go like, well, how can I get the best deal? Use promo code Will. Just remember that. Remember that. You want to get the best deal? Use promo code Will.
I should have that in there. I'll fix that.
Oh wow, Nicole. Thank you so much for becoming a monthly subscriber on YouTube. Thank you so much. Actually, I think you might be the first person to subscribe to my YouTube channel since I've gotten it back, right? This is my YouTube channel that I've had for years, and I just got it back not too long ago. But you are the first one. If I'm not mistaken, you're the first one. So thank you so much for that blessing. And people, they go to my website too, uniteamericafirst.com, and they subscribe there too. So, and also people can subscribe to me on Rumble. Oh, let me look on Rumble. Actually, that was Rumble. Nicole's on Rumble. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I got it wrong there. Got it wrong. Oh, I'm not perfect. I'm entitled to one or two. So thank you so much, everybody. I think we're at the end. We are. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you all. Stay safe out there. Hopefully things don't get really, really crazy. But if they do, just remember, God is in control. God bless everyone. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Phone calls. Make sure you call in early. Make sure you call in early so we can get you in. God bless everyone. See you tomorrow.